Hey, what's up everyone, and welcome to another Skyblox video. So as you guys know, yesterday a brand new update was just released that went ahead and introduced the brand new food processor. Now, a couple of you in my comments have been letting me know that you would like to see an auto farm system set up for this. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys what I went ahead and set up. I'll also be going ahead and explaining the entire process on how exactly the food processor works, because there is a lot of confusion right now. And honestly, I was a little confused at first. I had to kind of play around with it to really understand how it works. Now, for the example, in this video, I'll be showing you how to make an automatic farm for berry pies. But anyways, let's go ahead now and waste no more time and get right into it. Now, to get started, let's go ahead and do the complete rundown on the food processor so we can get that out of the way. If you go ahead and walk up to your food processor and open it up, it is going to bring up your entire cooking table. As I'm sure many of you have already noticed from your food processor, when you click on individual thing, it shows you what you need to be able to create that item, but it won't actually let you create it because you have to feed the items into the food processor. Now, the next thing that I want to point out is extremely important, and it confused me at first and I really didn't understand it, but it's actually extremely simple. If you want to go ahead and make with your food processor dough, for instance, let's use that as an example, you need to make sure that when you open this menu, you click on dough and leave dough highlighted. When I say highlighted, I mean it needs to be kind of like, jumping up. It needs to be over here on the right hand side, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Do not click any other of these things once you have decided what you want to make. I've now clicked on dough, so I'm going to close this menu, and on this side I'll be changing the direction to out because obviously we need to feed the food processor. I actually almost forgot to go ahead and put the blocks next to it because wheat has a habit of falling off the actual conveyor, so make sure that you guys put this up or put something up that is going to block the wheat from falling off the side. Now, for the sake of this example, I'm going to go ahead and put in 10 wheat just so you can get a look at how this works. So obviously it is going to pick up the wheat, put it inside, and then bring out the dough from the other side and drop it into your other industrial chest. Now, this is where a lot of people are getting confused, so I definitely want to sit on this topic and kind of make it very well known that you need to make sure that you have whatever item it is that you're making clicked on. I'm going to go ahead and show you an example on why this is important. If I go ahead and click on berry dough, in order to make this, I'm going to need 1 dough and 5 berries. So if I go ahead, right, and I'm like, oh, hey, look, I clicked on berry dough, but in reality, I want to make some dough. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put in wheat all over again. If you notice, the wheat is not getting picked up. The reason for this is because you did not click on dough. Once I click on dough, it instantly starts to make it all over again. So again, this is really important and it's going to confuse you at first. I was seeing so many people in my Discord saying that they had to keep their menu open in order for it to keep making it. And then I saw other people saying that the food processor was just all out broken, which is not the case. So now that we've gone ahead and gotten the understanding of how the food processor works, I'm going to go ahead and show you what I kind of semi-built, mainly because I was doing all of this testing, but we will be expanding from that point so that I can show you guys how to turn this into an entire automatic farm. Now, as you can see right here, this is going to look extremely familiar if you do watch my videos occasionally, mainly because this is the exact same setup that I used for over here for my onion auto farm. It is the same exact setup, except that I'm using it now for wheat. Before the most recent update, there was kind of a problem with wheat auto farms, mainly because the wheat would come out on the conveyor standing. So what would happen is that it kind of tips over and falls off the conveyor, very similar to like what happened right here in front of me. But it seems like with the most recent update, they kind of went ahead and made it so once it does come out, it instantly lays down and then falls to the conveyor. Now, I don't really feel like I need to get too into detail on how to build this little setup right here because it's pretty straightforward. Each individual one is going to be 3 by 3, and then you go ahead and put a sprinkler in the middle, line up the entire section with your wheat totems, and then obviously right in front of it, line up the entire section with conveyors pushing out to the middle. The middle is going to have another conveyor line going down, and then on the very top, just go ahead and set whatever block you want. Set up your water sources, which would be obviously water catchers, and then sprinklers in the middle to finish off this entire little quick auto farm. Now, all of this wheat is being thrown down to my storage section, which I will be taking you down there now. And this is all operating automatically, making dough that is then being sent over to this chest right here. And this setup right here is obviously extremely simple. It's just one straight chute coming down with conveyors coming straight into the food processor. The reason why I extended it so far is simply because I wasn't able to put a block right here with the actual food processor processor really close. So to avoid all of the jumping around from the wheat, I just kind of extended a little bit out, and then I blocked off this area with a glass block. Now, as I've said before, this is obviously going ahead and just making raw dough, but really quickly now, I'm going to show you guys how I'm going to turn this setup right here into making berry dough. One thing that I do want to point out before we get started on this is you will need 2 food processors in order to do this. That's definitely something that you want to keep in mind. So what we're going to want to do is go ahead and destroy the ending chest. So right now what it's going to be doing is it's going to be creating the dough, but kind of just dropping it off to absolutely nothing. We're going to grab some straight conveyors, straighten this out, maybe like 2. I think 2 should be fine, really. And then go ahead and make yourself a ramp conveyor. You're really only going to need 1 ramp conveyor. I've tried doing it with 2 on each side, kind of similar to how my iron auto farm was, where they kind of faced each other. But unfortunately, this caused way too much spillage, and it wasn't worth it. It really wasn't. Now, the most important thing of once you go ahead and add your ramp is kind of just block this off, make a pretty decently tall wall. I think 2 should be perfectly fine, actually. And then go ahead and grab yourself an industrial chest and place it on this end. Unfortunately, because there is no way of auto farming berries, you will have to manually put in the berries, but that's as much work as you're gonna have to do. Now, once you've got this little setup made right here, it's literally as simple as just going ahead and connecting your second food processor and switching this over to berry dough. Also, before I forget, make sure that you block this in as well, because some of the stuff will fall off the ramp. Now, once you have this made right here, there's 2 options that you can make. You can either go ahead and stick on an industrial chest here at the end, so that way while you are making your berry dough, you can go ahead and not lose any of them, because they will all end up inside of the chest. Now, as you can see right here, the berry dough is being made by simply just grabbing the berries out of the industrial chest, dumping them in, and then obviously the food processor does everything on its own. Again, the only downside to this is the fact that you will have to manually put in the berries into the chest. There is other things that you can make, such as carrot cake, that you can make completely 100% auto farmed, mainly because all you need for cake batter is dough and carrots. So technically speaking, if you go ahead and set up the first system and then make another auto farm on the very top floor that does carrots, and then just create a chute that was to then drop right in the middle here, it would go ahead and mix up the carrots with the dough, and you'd be able to make cake batter. But then that leads me now to the next part that I want to talk about, and that is for the people that want to go the extra length. Obviously, in the industrial chest at the end of the second food processor is going to go ahead and have my berry dough inside of it. But if I go ahead and destroy that and instead connect an industrial oven to this, then at the end of the oven we put in an industrial chest, we now should have an entirely auto farmed berry pie maker. Of course, don't forget that you do have to put in a coal totem. I'm just going to go ahead and manually put them, but as you can see right there, it is making berry pies automatically. Obviously, only downside, as I've already said 2 or 3 times, is the fact that you have to put in the berries, but you can completely avoid this if you want to make a little bit less profit and you just want to go ahead and make yourself some carrot cakes. The beautiful thing about this is because there is no collision on conveyor belts anymore, there really is no such thing as spillage. Also, before I forget, because I know that some of you are going to run into this problem, when you are going to include your coal totem here, make sure that you put in between the food processor and your oven, you go ahead and put 1 straight conveyor. If you try to go ahead and put a coal totem right here now, unfortunately it's just going to spawn coal around it, and it's not going to put the coal on the conveyor. Just to kind of show you what I mean, I did go ahead and place down a coal totem so you can see. Unfortunately, it's not going to do it. It's just going to end up putting rocks all around it. So that's definitely something that you want to keep in mind. Now that I've gone ahead and added an extra conveyor, it should no longer do that anymore, and it's just going to end up throwing the coals onto the actual conveyor belt. If for some reason you guys want me to go ahead and make the entire carrot cake auto farm, let me know in the comments. I'll definitely make a whole entire video about that. I just felt that there was a lot of confusion with the food processor right now, and I kind of wanted to give you guys a quick example, since I know so many of you have an abundance of berry farms, and with the increase in value, those berry pies are now going for 212 coins if I'm not mistaken. So what I'm going to go ahead and do right now is I'm going to farm a couple of this for maybe like the next 20-25 minutes, and then we'll head over to the baker, and I'm going to sell everything that I made just to give you guys a rough estimate on how much I made within 25 minutes. All right, so it's now been exactly 16 minutes, and I've accumulated a total of 119 berry pies. Really quickly, we're going to head on over to the baker and check and see how much we made in 16 minutes. So the grand total comes out to 25,228 coins for 119 berry pies. Honestly, 25k in 16 minutes is not really that bad. It's obviously not a huge money maker, but like I said before, if you guys went ahead and set this up with, let's say, a carrot cake auto farm, that could go ahead and make you a lot of money, considering carrot cake goes for 163 coins per carrot cake. Now again, if you guys would like to see a video on the full auto farm for carrot cakes, let me know in the comments, and also drop a like on this video so it does get my content out there and this helps out other people. And of course, subscribe to the channel so you do not miss any of my videos, because I got plenty of stuff coming out here within the next couple of days. But hopefully this did go ahead and help you guys out. I know personally I'll be kind of tinkering with this within the next couple of hours here, trying to figure out some good methods. And of course, I will be building that entire carrot cake auto farm so that way I do have it ready in case you guys do want to see that. But anyways, that's gonna go ahead and do it for today's video. Like always, I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.